Hi everyone, I'm back in my kitchen to announce something fun and fantastic, and that is it is time for my second recipe relay. If you didn't see the first one, you guys, it was a meatloaf recipe relay. I will link below to the first video in that relay in the description down below. But if you're new to this recipe relay, here are the rules. I am going to start the first leg of the relay with a very simple carnivore recipe. And then I am going to call out another YouTuber, and they must take the baton from me, and they can do a few things. They can either add or change an ingredient, and they can choose, if they wish, to change the form of the recipe. For example, in the meatloaf relay, I made a meatloaf. Some people made meatballs. That would be an example of changing the form. So we're going to get this relay started, and the recipe that I am going to make today is called baked eggs. You guys, it has a fancy French name that I cannot pronounce, but it is called baked eggs, or sometimes shirred eggs. My recipe is very simple. I've got the ingredients here. So we've got eggs. We've got some heavy cream. I'm going to be using Parmesan cheese, a little bit of Redmond real salt, and the Kerrygold butter here is just for greasing the little dish that I'm going to bake the eggs in. And so, yeah, I'm going to make this for you guys today. I'm going to taste it, and then I'm going to call out another YouTuber at the end of this video to see what they can do, what they can make, how they can add a little bit more interest, flavor to this baked eggs relay. So let's go ahead and get started. What I've got here is one ramekin liberally coated with some butter. I'm going to crack 3 eggs into here, trying very carefully not to break the yolk. My favorite eggs, you guys, are these pasture-raised eggs that I get from Vital Farms. They're a little more expensive, but they're delicious and worth it. Okay, that's 2. Can I get the third one in here without breaking the yolk is the question. Ooh, there's my oven. So my oven is ready, and what I've done is I've set that oven to 375 degrees. Okay, now I have measured out 3 tablespoons of heavy cream, and I'm going to slowly pour this cream into the eggs. It says to try to nudge the yolks toward the center, but I feel like I put them in the center and they've sort of moved to the outside, but I don't think I can nudge them. Maybe I'll try to nudge them with my spatula a little bit. I don't want to break them though. I don't know, you guys. Is it worth the shot? Is it worth a try? If I nudge them, will they break? Is the question. I've never made this before. I'm making this for the first time here with you guys. Will they stay in the middle? And we're nudging. Oh, look, see, when I nudge that one, the other one goes to the edge. All right. Well, I think we're just going to see what happens. I'm going to take some salt here, and you know what? I hate when other people do this to me, but I'm going to do it. Just a pinch, or I'm just kind of eyeballing the salt. You know, you can always add more salt at the end. This is my favorite salt, Redmond real salt. And I've grated some Parmesan cheese, maybe a couple of tablespoons of Parmesan cheese. I didn't measure it. And I'm just going to sprinkle that over the top. I can think of so many creative things to do with this that we could add, change, etc. I'm very excited to see the next step of this relay and what my next person, racer, baton taker is going to try. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to set this little ramekin. I'll move it back so you guys can see, but I'm going to set it in a baking dish that I've also put a little water in. So it's like this, and I've just put water in the baking dish as well. That's to keep everything from drying out in the oven. Now, I'm going to put this in the oven at 375. I'm going to try it for 12 minutes, and I'm going to check it because, like I said, I've never made this before. I like runny yolks, but since I've never made this before, I'm not 100% sure how it's going to turn out. So I'll see you back in 12 minutes, and then we'll see what they look like. Okay, this is what my baked eggs look like after 20 minutes in the oven and 4 minutes resting on the counter. So as you can see, the yolks are still a nice dark yellow. I certainly put plenty of butter in there. It kind of came floating to the top. And the cream you can still see that's what's moving around. But the egg whites are underneath that and they are cooked through. The yolks still look a dark yellow, which is what I like. I don't like my yolks overdone. So I'm going to move my camera now and give this a taste. Okay, so I've got my baked eggs in here, looking really buttery, creamy, and delicious. I'm going to break one of these yolks open, because that's the best part, and give this a try. The yolk is still runny, not completely liquidy runny, but definitely still liquid a little bit. And I'm going to taste this. I hope there's enough salt on here. So that is very creamy, delicious. I taste the cheese, I taste the salt, the egg yolk is yummy. The cream just makes it kind of like a little bit of a custardy consistency. This is a fancy way to eat eggs, you guys. It's easy, but it feels fancy. So you are gonna love this if you give it a try. I'll finish that in a minute, but now it's time for me to call out the next person to take that baton from me. Are you ready? I am going to call out Robyn, everyone's favorite carnivorous grandma. And Robyn, I want to see what you can do to these baked eggs to take them up a notch. Remember to follow those rules, Robyn. You can add and or change an ingredient. And if you choose to, you can change the form. And I can't wait to see what Robyn at Carnivorous Grandma does with baked eggs. It's time for me to go and meet some wellness. 3 delicious, custardy, fancy, teacher on summer vacation baked eggs at a time.